Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you wanna know about sports, this is where you go. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you wanna know about sports, this is where you go.
First down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, yeah.
Live. If we go, I don't know what the heck happened to Mizzle. We apologize. We've been trying for the last hour to come on and do a show, but technology seems like it wants to rear its ugly head in here again. So we apologize. Okay, well then there's something wrong on my end. Looks like it's going to be one of those shows, but I can't see you. Your screen is black.
Wow. Well, if anybody can hear and see, if anybody can see and hear me,
I apologize for this technical difficulties, crap, which has really been irritating me all night. Stand by.
Well, as we continue to stand by, I would just say, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. Well, hello, everybody. As my co-host has technical difficulties going on with his side of the show, I'll just here and say I hope everybody had a very good Valentine's Day. If you had a couple, if you wasn't a couple, if you whatever it may be that you may have done. Here comes back my co-host right here. Let's add him to the stage. Welcome.
Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this again. Good grief. Good Lord. Now, to our subscribers, all 98 of you that we appreciate. I know it's scheduled to say 10:08, which again we apologize because, like I said, we've been trying for an hour to get this thing on board, but of course, technology likes to be a pain in the ass. But nonetheless, welcome. We have reached episode number 165 of the Mizzle Dub Show. Yeah,
kicking butt.
Yeah, a lot of shows in nearly 4 years, but nonetheless, we'll get right into it. So more Backlash continuing, involving my team in the National Football League is now. I guess some would say he was the scapegoat. I don't know if you want to call it that or not, but nonetheless,
how can you not call that? Let's ask this question, especially when Kyle Shanahan came out and said that the staff was coming back pretty much intact, and then a day later, Steve Wilks gets fired. Come on now, come on. So somebody had to, and then for Bosa to come out and say that they were not prepared. You had 2 weeks. You had 2 weeks to get prepared for this Super Bowl.
First off, Nick,
how is one team more prepared for you? That and Kelsey came on and said on his little podcast with his brother, whoever, I think it's Frazier, whoever they call it, guy Frage, whoever they call, he was prepping them since day one. How you're not prepared?
Okay, first off, Nick Bosa, you have no room to start because twice you fell for the okie doke and didn't stay home.
Yeah.
Which let Miko Hardman get butt naked open, and Mahomes had a lane to run in to get the first down. The Chiefs ain't run no dang RPOs all year long, but you bit for the fake, not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve Wilks had a game plan good enough for them to win this game. You held the Chiefs to 19 points in regulation. Most cases, that gets you a victory.
Yeah.
However, and this is credit to Steve Spagnuolo, which is why he's a four-time Super Bowl coordinator, winning a four-time Super Bowl winning coordinator.
Extension well deserved.
Which, by the way, Spagnola and the Chiefs defensive coaches really complimented Brock Purdy, saying he is very good, which is high praise from your opponent. But here's what Steve Spagnola did, because he saw that he was getting threaded in the zone by Purdy's passes earlier in the game. He did something which a lot of teams really wouldn't do. He said, well, you know what? Your wide receivers, you're going to have to beat us one-on-one in straight man. And really, the Niners receivers couldn't do that. He said, I'm not playing zone because Purdy will shred us. And it was like, okay, Ayuk, okay, Debo. Beat our guys one-on-one. And McDuffie was very good on Debo Samuel, because he was both passes that Purdy tried to go up top to Debo. McDuffie was right there and knocks the ball away. And Brandon Ayuk's name was hardly called in the start game. Only had 3 catches for 49 yards. So that is kudos to on-the-fly adjustment by Steve Spagnuolo. That's why he has 4 rings. Because he's like, okay, if Brock's going to beat us, he's going to have to beat us with our guys playing man-to-man. Yeah. But, again, now there's stuff coming out saying that, well, Steve Wilkes was not a fit for the system. Well, then, okay, I compliment Kyle for taking a risk in hiring him. To which, by the way, Steve Wilkes will not be without. He won't be jobless for long. He will be on somebody's coaching staff, coaching a defense in 2024.
Less than a week. Less than a week, I believe.
I mean, for people that think he's not a good coach, look what he did with the Panthers before they went to the route they went before they are starting all over again. With what he did, having those guys play with some respectability. But here's my thing. If you didn't fit, you're the defense that you want to run, because even during the middle of the season, he was saying, I'm still trying to learn the scheme. Okay. My thing is, if you're hiring a coordinator, I think you would let him run his scheme, right? Because, again, I hate keep going to this analogy, but that's like saying you're hiring Buddy Ryan to be your defensive coordinator, and that's like you telling Buddy Ryan, Buddy, don't run the 46 defense. Buddy Ryan's going to look at you, give you the finger, saying, I'm running the 46 defense. You hired me to run the defense. This is the defense I'm running. Shut up and see if you can stop it in practice.
Yes.
So get on with that. Now, if there's any in-house people that they might promote within to be the defensive coordinator, I know Johnny Holland, former Packers linebacker back in the day. He's been on staff for years. Linebackers coach, of course, he's the guy that's got Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw playing at a high level. He might be considered. I know Chris Coher, the line coach, does not want to do it. He is perfectly fine coaching the defensive line. Some people have suggested Mike Vrabel, Hoodie,
Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley probably makes the most logical sense, and that's probably the route they're going to go. The one year he led the Rams defense, the Rams were number 1 in total defense. It does help when you have a guy like Aaron Donald to lead that defense, but that one season as a DC and how he had the Rams playing defense, that's how he got the Chargers job before the Chargers continued to Chargers. So, I mean, he's out there. I know people want Vrabel, people want Belichick, but it's like, here's the thing. Belichick wants to break Don Shula's record for most wins by a head coach in NFL history.
So even if he doesn't say,
even if he says it out loud, that's what he wants to do. And plus, his ego, Kyle Shanahan's ego, that is toxic waiting to happen in Santa Clara, because they got rid of the toxic that was Harbaugh and Trimbaki, and it's been good harmony under Shanahan and Lynch. Because the last thing you want to do, and this is with any team, you don't want to mess up the locker room. You don't want to make the locker room a toxic environment, because if you do that, that's not going to be good. But by no stretch of the imagination, that's not going to be good.
Facts.
But, and not to mention, I mean, there's a whole lot of free agents the Niners have. I mean, the main people, Randy Gregory, Chase Young, Kevin Givens. I know, me personally, Juwan Jennings is somebody I would definitely re-sign. He's definitely one that I would re-sign. Chase Young is probably not going to get the money that he wants. He's probably going to get a 1-year prove-it deal. And I'm okay with the Niners giving him a 1-year prove-it deal to come back for a year to prove that you can play at a high level to perhaps get the money you want in 2025. Yeah. But, I mean, the money that you want for this upcoming season, you're probably not going to get, because, I mean, there are some times where you did take some playoffs. Now, in the Super Bowl, Chase Young played fantastic. He played his ass off, played a fantastic game. He definitely played and showed why he was worthy of being a first-round pick. I mean, the potential has always been there. The skill is there, but it's just
health-wise.
That too. That also plays a part, but it's just something just didn't fit right, or something was going on with the whole Wilkes situation, which is unfortunate. Which is unfortunate for Steve Wilkes, because, like I said, Steve Wilkes is a man's man. He's a good coach, and his name is a very respected name in this league. Yes. Now we wait to see who's going to run the defense, and if the defense can, after Thanksgiving, the defense, as Tim Ryan said, because I listened to Tim Ryan's interview with John Lunn on KR today, he said basically it became a bend but don't break defense, which is normally not the defense I've been used to custom seeing when Saleh and D'Amico was the DC. It was more dominant physical defense, and they were leaking oil. So here's the thing that you and I always say: if you're going to hire somebody that fits the scheme and runs the scheme that you want. And of course, we sound like broken records when we say this, but I mean, if that's what you're looking for, then by God, hire someone that knows your system. If that's the route you've been trying to go all the time, which is why I said the Raiders keeping Patrick Graham gives the defense a head start in Henderson, to where they can just continue where they left off. They don't have to learn no new verbs, not learn no snap count, this, then the third. They can pick up and be like, okay, then we're gonna go into this phase of the system. Yeah. So I mean, you know. And plus, for some, it'll be their third year in the system. So now they might take another step up under Patrick Graham. So, you know, it remains to be seen. But nonetheless, Steve Wilkes gets fired as 49ers defensive coordinator.
That's a shame.
So now the Niners try. Okay. I'm not against the firing if it was because it didn't work. But because I know people are giving Kyle a lot of heat for him blowing the game again, which for some people, you're not wrong. But for you to say in a 24-hour period, you expect your staff to be back and stay intact. Then early yesterday morning, supposedly, when you said you had talked to Steve and relieved them, you knew all along you did not want him back. So why?
Press conference. Yep.
So why fake the funk, as they say, and just be like, well, you know what? It's not working. We're just gonna, be different. But before we continue, to a good friend of ours and a longtime supporter of the show, even though We do not like the basketball team that he roots for. Nonetheless, to our good friend, big man, Mr. Gregory Pace, happy birthday, good sir. Your Jackie Robinson 42 birthday. Hope it was fantastic. Hope your loved ones spoiled the heck out of you. And
Yes.
the Mizzle Dub Show, we love you. Still for lack for you to come on the doggone show one of these days and you know, chop it up, but that's here nor there. But nonetheless, Mr. Pace, happy birthday, and hope you enjoyed your the next chapter in your life. So this was the last week of NBA action before the All-Star break takes place this weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana. And
The good old festivities.
yeah, there were some good festivities. There was only 3 games on the docket tonight. One was a makeup game, which we'll get to in a second. But the Grizzlies at home shock the Bucks by beating them 113 to 110.
So Doc loses again.
You don't say. It has not worked under Glenn. Now, here's the thing. They were 30-13, I believe, when they fired Mr. Griffin, and
Sounds about right.
They pulled Doc off the bench to or off the ESPN table to which Mexican talk show host are you talking about? If you can give us a name, we'll try to answer that question. But 30-13 sounds about right. So you mean to tell me they've only won 5 games, but have lost 11 under Doc? That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
That's a huge problem. Now I'm trying to see if they have his record, because I know he got off to a 1-5 start when he took over the job.
I don't even think he has a second victory.
Well, that's what I'm trying to look at, because I'm trying to see what the record has been since he's been there.
Well, all you got NBA.com should, ESPN should tell you that, right?
Somebody should tell me.
Hey, well, since you're looking that up, let's go ahead and give our.
Okay, so
Okay,
he is 3-7 since he's become the Bucks head coach.
that doesn't get any better.
No, 3-7. 3-7.
It's pathetic. You're supposed to be this guru coach, taking over after this one coach who had him winning in a winning situation. So
yeah, which goes to show you that Giannis, even though they say that Giannis is the reason why that Griffin's not there, but okay, but you get Doug. So here's who you've lost to. You lost to Denver. I mean, they're the champs. That can happen.
Understandable. Understandable.
No reason you should lose to Portland.
No.
You beat Dallas. You lose to Utah, who is trying to get into the playing game. You lost to the Suns. Suns are pretty good.
Yeah.
You got thrashed by the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves are very good. You did what you're supposed to do against Charlotte. You got revenge and you split against Denver, and then Miami laid the smackdown on you, and then Memphis gets you today. So Memphis, Portland, Utah are borderline under 500-ish. So 30-13, you're now 35. You're now 33. No, 35-21. So you've added 10 losses, or 8 losses. I'm sorry, no, 7 losses to that. 7 losses. I mean, there is no harm, and I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Milwaukee because you made the trade for Dame. Now you done added, I believe.
Yep.
Now you done added, I believe, Mr. Beverly to your squad. in Milwaukee. So there's a lot of pressure on that small media market to deliver, at worst, a trip to the finals.
Well, they have put themselves in a win now situation with the trades they made, and
yes, they have. And plus,
definitely firing their coach, bringing in Doc. So they're thinking that Doc. I don't know what they were thinking, because Doc could get you to the playoffs, but he sure won't get you to the place that you need to be to win the championship, because I don't think he will. He'll get you a 3-1 lead, and then he'll smoke it. So if that's what you're looking forward to, then prepare yourself, and don't be mad when that happens.
Not to mention, Giannis will be a free agent soon. So there's that possibility that he might be walking out the door. And if he does, I don't think he would. But I mean, I'm just saying there is that possibility that Giannis might walk out the door. But nonetheless, if he does, I mean, what does that do for Dame? Because Dame left Portland to come here to play with you. But you know, things like that do happen. But I mean, and speaking of the T-Wolves, they handle business. They beat the Grizzlies. Oh, I'm sorry, not the Grizzlies. They beat the Blazers 128-91. As the Timberwolves continue their great season, as they still lead the West at the All-Star break. I believe this is Indiana. I think this is the first time Indiana has hosted the All-Star game since '85. Jordan's
I think I might have to agree with you on that one. I might have to agree with you on that.
But well, to answer your question on that, Ninja, I mean, and he has said it, and of course his brother said it. It was the wrong thing. It was the wrong thing. It was the wrong thing to do. I mean,
yeah.
Granted, it's more escalated because it's the Super Bowl and they just happen to catch it on camera. Because I mean, if you're sitting live in the stadium, this happens all the time. Coaches and players go back and forth and yell all the time. But because it was so magnified, because it was the Super Bowl, and because it's on CBS, worldwide audience, millions of people watching, so on and so forth. I know at the end of the day, Andy Reid and Travis Kelce love each other, but in the spur of the moment, Travis could have handled it better. To which going forward he will, because he definitely does not want that to happen again. And speaking of which, to the people of Kansas City, you have our prayers. It sucks that you're trying to celebrate a championship, be at the parade, and some idiots decide they want to open a fire and take one person's life and injure many, many more, which
half of them are children.
Which sucks, and that's the part. Why the babies? Why are we harming the babies? That makes no sense. And again,
so what the total is? It's one dead, 22 injured. Out of the 22, half of them are kids, ranging from the age of 16 and below. 16 and below. That's ridiculous. Over a dispute. It wasn't no active terrorism or anything like that, or somebody was just trying to do something to ruin the parade. It was over a dispute. And you pull out guns and you're randomly not even aiming at the target that you're aiming for, which means you can't shoot for shit then. If you shot 22 people and half of them are children, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not taking away from it that if it was all adults, but innocent children who's sitting there just trying to enjoy watching their team
win another Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Watching their team win a Super Bowl, watching their team go back to back. Now, again, most Midwestern states are very courteous, friendly people.
The gun laws, yeah.
From what people have said over the years, and of course, KC is known for their fantastic, tremendous barbecue. But howbeiver, again, another senseless tragedy. When you're trying to celebrate a sport championship, and things like this happen. Now, not trying to compare areas or regions, but everybody knows how ghettofied Oakland, California can be and San Francisco, California can be. But nonetheless, when the Warriors had their parades in Oakland and San Francisco, respectively, there was no issues at all of violence or fights and stuff like that.
Well, none that we know of.
None that we know of. None that were reported. For the
basically, wasn't no major issue. Wasn't no major issue to where children or somebody had lost their lives at a parade.
Now again, Mizzle and I both know firsthand by being longtime Bay Area residents. We know things can get down in the town just like we know things can get down in the city. I mean, he was born and raised in Richmond, California, one of the toughest places to live. I was born and raised in Vallejo, California, which eventually became that as time grew on. Hence why we both cross paths in Fairfield, California. But my point is the fact that it's already bad enough today. And the last me and Mizzle want to talk about is getting political and talking about crap like this. But since we're here, the last thing, it's already bad enough that you worry about taking your child to school, be like, okay, is my kid going to come back home safe?
Movie theater.
It's one thing to be like, okay, well, my kid's hanging out at the movie theater, just watching a movie, minding his own business, but then some idiot wants to be an idiot. You got to worry about that.
But here's the thing, Deb. It's not none of this. It becomes a problem, period. But it's a problem when you're sitting in the house of God and somebody decides they want to come in the house of God while somebody is worshiping the Almighty and they get gunned down. That's a problem. And I don't care if it is Joel Osteen's mega church. That is a house of God. And somebody's coming in the house of God and shooting people worshiping. That's, like I said, you can't go to a movie. You can't even go to a theme park. You can't go nowhere.
But it almost takes me back. So unfortunately, when Martin Luther King's mother was shot in Ebenezer Baptist Church while she was on the organ playing music. Unfortunately, her husband, the late, great, legendary MLK Sr., was not even there, was out of town when this happened. But the fact that happened, and now the fact that, yes, and I know people have their thoughts about Reverend Joel Osteen. That's here and there.
It's still a house of God. It's still a house of God.
The fact is, somebody went to the sanctuary where people are. The last place you should feel unsafe at is in the house of God, is in the house of the Lord. That's the one place to where you really should not feel like, okay, my life is at risk. I mean, even at my church, we have security. And they're strategically pointed at different areas in the sanctuary just to prepare for stuff like this.
And you should have to do that.
Which doggone crying shame.
Yes.
But my pastor does not want to take no chances, and I understand it, and right so.
You rather be prepared than underprepared in all situations. But it sucks that in the church house, you have to come out with an exit plan, and on the way to make sure nobody gets hurt in church. A school and a church should not be places that you have to consider places that you have to put in the exit plan because somebody might come in there and shoot you. I mean, bad enough these kids have to go through earthquake drills and all kind of other drills, but now we have to go through drills if an active shooter comes on your campus. It's fucking ridiculous. Excuse my language, but I'm sorry. I know we cuss on this show a lot, but that's just fucking bullshit. And I don't know if I'm more mad at the shooting or am I more mad that innocent kids got gunned down. I mean, the shooting is horrendous as it is, but now we're taking out the future. Is that what we're doing now?
So, to wonderful government in the United States of America, what you gonna do about this one now, huh?
But here's the thing.
What you gonna say now, huh?
We can sit here and blame the government. So now let's just sit here and tell you this. And yes, it sounds like the Mizzle and Dub show has just went towards political, which we try to avoid. But this is, like Dub said, we're here. So what if the government finds a way to control guns? It's the same thing like drugs. They still found a way to get drugs into this country. Mm-hmm. All you're going to do is just make the black market even more money than what it is to. So there's no way I believe that you're going to stop somebody from having a gun. It just sucks. And can we blame poor aiming? Because who were you shooting at to take out 22 people? If it was a dispute.
What was the dispute about? I'm guarantee it's probably something stupid.
You probably bumped into the person and didn't say, "Excuse me, smudge his Puma." I mean, if you're there, and I know. All jokes aside, and this is a serious subject, and I was trying to make light of it, and there's no way to that. But what could have been? You're both celebrating a championship for a bullshit organization, not taking away from the incident, but they're still a bullshit organization. I don't give a damn. They're still the Kansas City Chiefs. You're celebrating. That's a moment where you're and wait. Here's the other thing: there was a shooting last year at their parade. So, what the f?
What's going on, Kansas?
It's pathetic that we had the. It's pathetic that this is the topic of most what's going on in the world right now, in the sports world. That we're sitting here talking about 22 injured, and the person that passed, she was a DJ in Kansas City, and I believe she got hit, and her children got hit. What?
So she's on the ones and twos trying to do her thing, what she did to get paid, and now.
Well, I don't know if she was DJing the event. I just think that she was just there, but she is a popular DJ out of Kansas City.
And now she has to be buried. And now now family has to bury her. Too soon.
Over a dispute. That's what sucks to me. To me, that means a person couldn't throw their hands and couldn't handle their business as a grown. And well, 3 of the shooters are juveniles, so go figure with that. And I believe the one adult that got arrested, he was released. And I think Kansas City had a certain time and day to make charges, or the juveniles would have been released as well. So this situation is bad all the way around. But again, as my brother said, prayers out to Kansas City and to all the families out there, and definitely prayers to the family that lost. She was a mother, a daughter, a friend, a cousin, a lover to somebody, but to go that way is senseless. I'm sorry. That's not the way to go. Not I mean, there's no proper way to go with gun violence, but to a place to where you're supposed to be having a good time because your city, your organization, and your city brought you another Lombardi, and you can't sit there and enjoy that victory without violence.
You can't enjoy it
it's
at all.
ridiculous.
So as we try to go back and talk about sports because this is a sports show, but the Warriors and Jazz finally played their makeup game from January the 17th. Of course, as we know, the tragedy that was Coach Decky that passed away in Salt Lake City. The Warriors came back after losing a tough one last night to the Clippers. The Warriors came back to beat the Jazz. It was a very good game. Both games were good games. But the Warriors came back to beat the Jazz 140-137 as Klay Thompson off the bench drops 35 of them buckets to lead the way. For the Warriors, Colin Sexton had 35. For the Jazz, 6 Warriors in double figures. Of course, Klay had 35. And the one night that Steph didn't shoot the ball well, his teammates picked him up big time. I mean, he still finished with 16, but Kozinski had 13. Wiggins had 19. Kuminga had 13. Draymond Green with 23 points. If Draymond Green has 23 points, then
something's cooking.
Something is up. But Klay led the way.
Well,
with
before you could continue, brother, for the Lakers, I don't know why they're in my head, but for those that are wondering why Klay Thompson is coming off the bench, he accepted this role.
Mm-hmm.
He said he will do whatever it takes to remain a Warrior, and so big ups to Klay for maybe embracing now. He might be the Andre Iguodala of the team now. And I wouldn't be mad at that because look what you got. You got 35 points off the bench. Maybe this is something that Klay might need to also rest. He didn't retire. He went from being He went from being a starter to now being a key contributor off the bench. Yeah.
But to which
so now kudos to Klay. Klay knows his worth. He knows, but
it's really not surprising that it's really not surprising.
It's not at all.
Because Klay has always been the ultimate teammate. Klay has always been whatever will help the team win. So him accepting this role is not surprising. It's not surprising one bit. So now you add him with GP2, with Sarch, and the way Santos and Quinones have been playing with Jackson Davis playing also, and then eventually Chris Paul comes back. Again, that's
segment with that. Yes,
that's going to lead for more rest and fresher legs for one Wardell Stephen Curry the second.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the Warriors, they go into the All-Star break over 500, sitting in the play-in spot in the Western Conference. As we go to the standings at the All-Star break here in the association in the East, Boston still holds the best record. Excuse me. Boston still holds the best record in the association, going 43-12, as Mizzle just said. The Cavaliers now are your number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Get out of town.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, number 2 in the Eastern Conference.
Hey, I know all teams in the top 5 at least are saying thank you, Milwaukee, for firing their coach and bringing in Doc Rivers, because now the East has just got real wide open after one.
Oh yeah,
real open after one.
The Bucks are number 3. The Knicks remain at 4. The Sixers at 5. Indiana at 6. And, of course, in the play-in games, Miami, Orlando, Chicago, Atlanta, they're in the play-in as we speak right now, the All-Star break. In the West, the Timberwolves holding on to their number 1 seed, which, by the way, they had a big, big win on Monday against the Clippers in L.A. Beat them very soundly, 121-100. They're in first in the West. OKC holding on to the number 2 seed in the West. Clippers holding on to the 3rd slot, but the Nuggets are right there at 4. Suns 5, Pelicans 6, and right now it is the Mavericks and the rest of the teams that play in California in the NBA, rounding out the play-in game. So Dallas 7th, Kings 8th, Lakers 9th, Warriors 10th. But of course, the Jazz right there, not too far behind, still on the outside trying to knock at the door. So now we had talked about this, which you and I were both like, no. But supposedly, and I don't know why Mike Dunleavy Jr. did this, but supposedly the Warriors, I guess, try to get some information of possibly trying to add LeBron to the roster, to which we're like, why? Why?
I don't need that title that bad.
And by God, why? But nonetheless, it did not happen.
Thank the Lord.
The roster stayed intact. Which, by the way, Gallinari did agree to join the Bucks for the rest of the season, so that's another deadly shooter added to the Bucks roster. He definitely will help them off the bench. Now, this has been a very unique story that is happening out of Detroit, as Isaiah Stewart getting into a fight and punching the Suns' Drew Eubanks
before the game.
Before the game. I mean, it's one thing if it happens in the game, during the game, in the heat of battle, in the heat of competition, but
and also, you know what? To look on the other side of it, to play devil's advocate, we don't know what that other player said to him.
True.
I mean, nobody just don't. Well, unless you live in, I'm sorry to say this, but unless you live in New York, nobody just walks up to somebody and just punches them in the face. To answer your question, Ninja, no, I have never been to a Super Bowl. I'm a little upset that I didn't go to the one where it was in Santa Clara, nor not get out there to go to Vegas. But I have a big, a big claustrophobia type of thing. And so the Super Bowl and all that would be a lot bigger than what I'm normally accustomed to going to other events. So I don't know if I'll ever, never say never though. Now, if my Raiders happen to get to the Super Bowl and I'm alive and it's somewhere I can get to, that's a whole different ball game. I'll just have to medicate myself to be at that game. But I would love to be there.
Super Bowl 60 will be in Santa Clara in 2 years. So anything can happen.
Let's see what my team would do. But I would love to be around the festivities, because I heard Vegas put on a very, very tremendous show for the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, given the fact that Vegas does big things, they do big things as only Vegas can do. They have definitely earned their way to be in the rotation, along with Miami, New Orleans, Glendale, SoFi.
Yeah.
And, of course, New Orleans, which the Super Bowl 59 will be in New Orleans in February of 2025. But, I mean, definitely Vegas has earned its right to be in the rotation. Like I said, I mean, Vegas does it big. Then they win hard and win home. As much as I wanted to go to the Super Bowl experience, just seeing what the traffic was on the strip made me go, no
way.
No way. I mean, I had friends that were Uber drivers, and you would think you would make a lot of money doing that. They upped and went home because that was just too tiring. Because, I mean, you're talking about all that clustering. All that clustering. And
you're not really getting any business because it's too busy.
I mean, I was at Fremont Street during Super Bowl week, the Saturday before the game, and I mean, it was crowded, but not as crowded as the Strip was. It wasn't hard to it wasn't as hard to get out of Fremont as it would have been the Strip. So that's the good thing. And plus, home was about 15 minutes away from Fremont Street, so it's not like I'm having to, go through Las Vegas.
Well, I don't know if it's my end or his end, but right now it seems like he's having. Oh, there he is. He's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
I can hear you,
back.
but my dang screen is black for whatever reason. Okay, there we go. All right.
Well, I can see you.
But anyhow, no, we're good. I can see you. It's just for whatever reason my screen was black for a minute. But I mean, it's just now I'm not as claustrophobic as Mizzle is, but I know mass amount of humanity. Sometimes I will literally just sit in my seat and wait till everybody gets the heck out because I'm not trying to walk through that. Because I know when me and him went to SummerSlam 2021 at Allegiant, we kind of waited just to leave because we're like, y'all can go. I'm in no rush.
No. Matter of fact, brother, let's hit the bar real quick.
I was like, I'm in no rush to get out of here because that's just too much massive amount of money. Now, I will say this. He will be fine once the WWF announces that WrestleMania either 41 or 42 is coming to Vegas. He'll
Well, like I said, I will man up for certain situations. You know, SummerSlam wasn't that bad. I mean, going to certain events is not bad, but it's like when it's a mass amount of people, and the Super Bowl will bring a mass amount of people. WrestleMania is going to be a mass amount of people, and so I'm on edge at all time. You may not see it on my face, but my body and everything else is like, holy fuck! Can I just get to my seat right now so I can sit down? I don't want to be around these people. That's why I moved through the crowd so fast. I'm trying to get out of that situation, and
he's trying to find some freedom.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. If and when the Raiders win the Super Bowl, God willing, that I'm alive, you damn right I'll be at that parade. But I will be the most tense person in the world because I will be, even though I will be amongst Raider Nation, but it's like, hell, we tried to make it to the Warriors and the Giants parade. And you know how many people was out at the first Warrior Championship? My goodness.
Almost, it was 500,000 people at Jack London Square in Lake Merritt. I was planning to go to the 2014 Giants parade in San Francisco.
Same.
And I would have made it, but my doggone flight got delayed, which I was just like, damn it, Jim. So I ended up missing that. So I mean, it goes without saying. I was still able to watch the parade and enjoy it. It was like,
now, can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? Just hypothetically thinking here. Let's just say that I was at either one of the Giants or the Warriors parade, nervous as shit, and gunfire goes off. Oh man.
Oh Lord. God forbid. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
No, but I'm sorry. A lot of people's getting stiff armed and they're getting ready to fuck over. Just 100%.
He says I'm going full-fledged Bo Jackson
through the tunnel. It ain't coming back.
By that time, he might be Oakland. By the time he gets out the tunnel, but
all right, man. Enough since let's talk about this damn incident in KC, man. It breaks my heart. I'm just one last thing is like, again, prayers out to KC. And number one, I hope KC don't repeat for a third time because that shit fan in me and I'm sick of it. And then we need some new blood in the Super Bowl. But for just foreshadowing, if it does happen, do you think that the parade will be as huge as it was this year, knowing that this will be like the third time that it could be a possible incident to where a gun, gets in the way of a celebration?
That's a good question.
I would, and I've heard interviews from people saying that they will never, ever bring their children, you know, out to that. And I agree.
And
I'm nervous.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I'm nervous when I take my boys out or my family out to any any situation that is out there. Did you say they released? They released one of the people that was detained, and they had a certain amount of time to come up with charges for the juveniles that were arrested, or they could have been released as well. So that's, and I haven't been watching too much, looking into the news to see what happened, because something should have happened by today with those juveniles, whatever Casey went to do with them. But I'm pretty sure that me and Dub can look that up here in a little bit to see, and we'll probably get back into that before we end the show.
Well, I'm
over talking about the shooting in Casey. I'm over that. We come on this show, we talk about, because we do report everything that goes in the world. We're not just a sports show, which we are mainly focused on sports, but our platform is to talk about issues in our country. And I'm pretty much over coming on our show talking about some senseless person decided they want to go take lives to people trying to enjoy whatever. And you can't even go to the grocery store. Let's think about that. Somebody shot up a grocery store. Movie theaters, grocery stores, malls, sporting events, and all places to where a lot of people are gathered, and there's minimal places to where you can exit. That's ridiculous. We have to, and all me and my brother can sit here and say, because we say this, is we just send our prayers out, and we just pray that God puts his blessing over every incident that happens over there, and we can just I think it's a time. I think it's a time right now that we need him to come down, man. And
as he appears to be frozen right at this moment, to which again, things have happened on the show to where technical difficulties do happen from time to time, and for that we apologize. But you are watching number 165 of the Mizzle Dub Show, to where so far we've talked about Steve Wilkes getting fired as 49ers defensive coordinator. What route will the Niners go? Some have said they want it. Some have mentioned the names of Mike Vrabel and possibly Bill Belichick coming on the defense. Former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley has been linked to possibly being the next defensive coordinator for the 49ers. We will see what happens right there. We were just talking about the senseless tragedy that happened during the Chiefs' Super Bowl parade, to where 22 were wounded. Here's what I say to that, EJ Wizzle, as he's asking, was the right decision. I think Kyle knew that he was not going to bring him back, which I didn't understand why in his press conference Kyle Shanahan said that he was expecting his whole entire staff to be back, which absolutely made no sense, knowing, truthfully speaking, that he, knowing that it wasn't a good fit between those two, to which, again, Steve Wilkes was not even running his own defensive scheme. He was running the scheme that Kyle Shanahan wanted. And at times, Steve Wilkes said that he was still learning the scheme himself. So he had a good enough game plan to beat the Chiefs. Because they gave Mahomes too much time to do what he does. And at the end, with 3 seconds left in the first overtime, the Chiefs stop a play, and Miko Hartman makes one of the biggest catches in Chiefs history. So there you go with that. So, I mean, I don't know, as Mizzle makes his return, I don't know if it's the right decision or not, EJ Wizzle. Some will say that Steve Wilkes was the scapegoat for Kyle's own deficiencies that he had as the play caller in the game itself. But as I said earlier in the show, Well, most coordinators, they like to be in the booth because they can see the game from a different perspective. Um, you as a fan, you can really see the game a lot better when you watch the all 22 angle. I mean, the all 22 angle shows you some tremendous things and how plays develop and come open and things like that.
The piggyback off what you're saying, and cousin, when Patrick Graham went to the booth, that's when the defense flourished. When also AP let him cut loose, Patrick Graham got a bigger grasp from the booth. It depends on your coach. Some coaches can be on the sideline, and some coaches perform better in the booth.
Yes, they
Dan
have
Quinn was in the booth a lot. Dan Quinn was in the booth a lot.
Yes, Ninja, they have headsets to where they can press into the mic and talk into the headset, and the coaches doesn't matter if the coaches are on the sideline or the booth. The coaches and the players can hear what they're saying. So yes, they can coach from the booth. But I mean, when you watch football games and you see all of them that are sitting down, they're all mainly wearing headsets. So.
Yes.
So yeah, they do communicate with each other. I mean, they can go up until I want to say 15 seconds before the mic goes out when you're trying to speak into the quarterback's helmet. That there is a time limit on that, but I mean, some people like being on the field to be directly with their defense or offense. Mm-hmm. Like I said, some see it better when they're in the press box.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot. It just depends. It just depends on what you have a better feel for. Very quickly, as we go to the sweet science, it was not necessarily a good performance for Teofimo Lopez, but nonetheless, Timo does retain his title as he beats Jermaine
There's
Ortiz.
A lot of controversy behind this fight too.
Yeah, there was. I mean, if you look at it, and this is according to CompuBox, actually Ortiz landed 2 more punches than Teofimo, but nonetheless, Lopez did have a higher percentage. But I'm trying to see if I can find the scorecards. So now.
Yeah, and they said the score. They said the score was not up to par as well too.
Okay, well, 2 of the judges' scorecards had it 115, 113. Another one had a score of 117, 111. All right, Ninja, sleep well, and thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Be safe.
Thanks for chiming in, Ninja. Be safe.
So,
God bless.
He was given the unanimous decision, but there were, as you said, there were boos coming from the Mandalay Bay crowd. But I'm trying to understand who scored it 117 to 111. Who was this judge?
What were you looking at?
Yeah, what fight were you watching?
Especially for your other 2 judges to have the fight so close with their scoring. Yeah. Which most fighters will respect, but when you have a score like that with that 3rd judge, you got to question. Something's in question with that.
Yeah.
And that's rare, in boxing to where a score is off like that with 3 judges. Mostly the judges are on point with their scorecards, and you don't have too much of an issue. But with that score right there, I can understand to where there's a dispute. So. I don't know what's going to happen with that, as it seems like technology yet again it's rearing its ugly head with us tonight. I don't understand what's, and our shows have been going so well without having these technical issues. But as my brother makes his return, but we don't have that many scores like that in boxing. It's rare. And every time that we have a score like that, I'm like, what are you looking at? Like, please. I think if a judge wants to have a score like that, I believe that they should have an interview with them at the end and be like, so what did you see that your other 2 judges didn't see?
Yeah.
Why is your score different from there? And if they come up with a good excuse, a good reason, then hell, we move along. But to have 115, 113 to go that far off, I don't know. I have questions. Many questions.
A lot of questions surrounding that. But we did get word and we did get confirmation because these two went face to face and was talking trash. But we will get Devin Haney to face Ryan Garcia, and that will take place in April. And
420.
They got into a shoving match, and there was no love loss, and it will be for Haney. It will be for Haney's junior welterweight championship.
Bro. Now, I have nothing against Garcia at all, but he did the same shit to Tank Davis, and you see what happened after he opened his mouth and tried to go toe-to-toe with Tank Davis. Some of these fighters need to just humble themselves because Devin Haney ain't the one.
No.
He is not the one.
No, he's not.
That is the wrong person to want to run up on and start bumping off at the gums with. And honestly, to me, I don't see the fight going past 5, especially if Ryan Garcia is still popping off at the mouth. Devin Haney is that dude. He is that dude, and he needs to start getting more recognition.
It only took Tank 7 rounds to get him to stop him. So you're saying Haney might get him in 5. As now Mizzle is starting to freeze. Boy, I'll tell you what, fans, we apologize for the technological issues that's plaguing us here tonight as we try to give you episode number 165. But Mizzle is trying to make his point about Devin Haney, who is going to put his junior welterweight title on the line in Las Vegas against Ryan Garcia on the 20th of April here in Las Vegas. Haney on the ESPN pound for pound list is listed at number 6. This will be on ESPN pay-per-view, of course. Both men under the top, I want to say the top rank, as issues just keep happening to come about. But as we await for Mizzle to return, you've been watching episode 165. Again, at the top of the show, the Niners fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. The Warriors beat the Jazz. The Grizzlies beat the Bucks. And the Timberwolves beat the Blazers as it was only a 3-game night in the association. The last regular season games before the All-Star Weekend festivities take place in Indianapolis, Indiana, as my co-host makes his way back in. They've been having some storm issues in California, so sometimes that does play a part in the technology going AWOL from time to time. But go ahead and continue to make your point as you're saying about Devin Haney being that guy.
I'm just gonna go off and say that's the that you might want to start popping off at the mouth about, because that kid is something special.
No, because if he was, he would have been traded during the trade deadline, and the Warriors stand pat during the trade deadline. So no, he's not getting traded.
Well, to answer your question, cousin, if the guy up there in LA decided that he wanted to accept that trade, Klay Thompson was part of that package to get traded to the Lakers for LeBron James. Thank the basketball gods that did not happen, because as much as I want the Warriors to win the title, I don't want it to be with the hands of LeBron James. That's just... I know us Warrior fans felt the same way when KD got there, but we kind of understood what that was about. KD's legacy wanted to be that he at least wanted to have 1 ring. He got 2 with the dub, so I get that, but LeBron just needs to stay where he's at. He can take his ass back to Cleveland if all I care. Stay away from
Cleveland,
San Francisco, and Philadelphia. Stay from those 2 organizations, and I don't give 2 shits.
But also
but no, if Klay wants to embrace the role that he's having right now, I see Clay not going nowhere. If Clay can embrace that he wants to come off the bench and take the Iguodala role, Clay's not going anywhere. And I kind of like Clay with the second string, as we just alluded to earlier. And then once everybody comes back and gets healthy, that second unit could be pretty spectacular.
Also, rematch has been set for April the 27th in Leeds, England, as Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall will agree to fight again in their junior welterweight division.
Okay, then.
Catterall beat Taylor in the knocked him down in the 8th round, and well, I mean, when you have Scotland and England putting on gloves, you will see a lot of leather. You will see a lot of leather being thrown. It was originally supposed to take place last year, but there was a scheduling conflicts, and then Taylor torn his plantar fasciitis, which doomed the bout, but we're good to go, which means they'll get it on April the 27th in England. Not to mention, we do know that Usyk and Fury, the fight got pushed back to May 18th. It will still take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Good.
So we will have a unification for the heavyweight championship on the world between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. Canelo. Cinnamon. What are you doing? So there was reports about Canelo was supposed to make a huge announcement. And I said on my post, I said, my gut says he's probably going to retire. But nonetheless, he was going to make a announcement what he was doing. So supposedly, he announced that he was going to fight Jermall Charlo. But Charlo has said that no, that ain't happening. We haven't talked or anything.
We haven't even spoken. They haven't even spoken. So what is Cinnamon doing?
Yeah. What? So supposedly he is going to fight on May the 4th, which of course Canelo normally fights. If he normally fights 2 times a year, he normally fights it around Cinco de Mayo weekend and Mexican Independence Day weekend, of course, which Mexican Independence Day is September 16th, and of course Cinco de Mayo is obviously May 5th. But again, the thing is, as we all have said, there's 2 fights we want to see Canelo in. Obviously, one would be Terrence Bud Crawford, but the other one, and this fighter has been like promoted, has been literally begging on every outlet he possibly could go in, talking about give me the fight. Of course, David Benavidez would love nothing more than to face one Saul Canelo Alvarez. And no, I don't think there's any relation between me and Saul. I don't think. But, who knows? But nonetheless.
Well, maybe somewhere down the line, you guys might come from the same,
Same part of the country.
Yeah, and, that is your people.
That he is. That is. I am half brown. Yes, I am. I'm black and brown. Yes, I am. Black and brown proud. Absolutely.
Well,
but even though I'm just, light skin and can't tan and sweat chicken grease, but that's a whole other story for a whole different day.
Don't get me to get started. Don't get me started. Don't make me turn into Wade fucking Wilson right now.
Which, by the way, can't wait for Deadpool 3 in theaters. And if you have not seen the trailer, do yourself a service and please go watch that trailer.
I love the relationship that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have, because I love what Hugh Jackman did with the Deadpool the Wolverine. He changed it from Jackass, from Wolverine. It's Wolverine and Jackass. I mean, if that's not the perfect, it's he's not lying.
No,
Deadpool's a jackass.
Yes,
I mean, an asshole.
Yes.
Why me and him relate? I relate to that's why he's one of my top favorite characters in all of fictional characters.
And not to mention, I gave him my Deadpool windshield shield or sun shield for lack of a better term,
Sun visor
to use. Big sun visor for his SUV that he drives. So when people look at his car,
matter of fact, with a Deadpool emblem on the back of it, there is a Deadpool emblem on the back of my car. Yeah.
If Mizzle was into tattoos, I'm pretty sure he would have the Wade Wilson Deadpool logo somewhere on his skin if he was into tats, but he's not a big fan of needles.
I don't appreciate that you mentioned the word tattoo, because I was just sitting here talking to your sister about going to get a tattoo. So that might be on standby. Yeah, well, it's okay. I want tattoos. It's just a simple fact of the matter that I don't want to sit there and be just getting poked all the time. Granted that I already have 3. Don't get me wrong, I already have 3, but I don't know. I told her, I said, you know what? I guess I need to just sack up, because she wants to go get a tattoo, and it's like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, heck, if you guys are professing your love for each other, that's a beautiful thing. I'm all for it.
The moment I said I do, that was professing my love. I don't need a damn tattoo to profess it even more.
I don't mean the actual words I do. I'm just.
I know. I was just being. That was an open opportunity to be Wade Wilson. I'm sorry.
And you took it, and you took it, which is not surprising. Which, by the way, dadgummit Disney, you boy. There was another trailer that came out today or yesterday.
Oh boy.
That definitely took us back to Mizzle and mine's childhood. If you remember, the original X-Men cartoon series was used to air on Fox back in the day. And here's the thing. If you missed one episode, you were completely lost. Because you're like, what the heck?
That's how good it was.
Yes.
Yes. You had to watch weekly to follow the storyline back in the 97 version of the X-Men. And as I'm going to say one thing, and my brother's going to know, all I'm going to say is, he alluded to this earlier, we need Mr. Logan to go apeshit on Sentinels, as he went apeshit on them when Murph died, quote unquote. When Murph died, Logan went on one hell of a bender rage. I mean, oh my God. I'm sorry. If you're young in this generation watching our show, you don't know nothing about X-Men, the original animation X-Men, go watch it. And you already know what I'm looking forward to, brother. And they gave us a preview. Logan and Jackass going at it. I need that. I need that. And yes, I'm talking about Mr. Cyclops himself. I don't like that beam shooting son of a bitch. Never did. He's a crybaby when it comes to Jean Grey. He got in his feelings when Logan and Jean Grey was about to get with each other. So yes. But no, all jokes aside, without the hatred towards Cyclops, I do love the banter that him and Logan has. Even in the movies, him and Cyclops had the banter when Wolverine gave him the one finger salute with his claws. That I loved it. That means that director knew their hatred towards each other from the cartoon. So no matter if the movie was good or not, but they had beef.
Hey, it's me. Prove it. You're a dick. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. But for me, how dare you, Marvel, toy with my emotions to have Remy LeBeau on the back of Logan, and he uses kinetic energy to light up his adamantium claws. Don't mess with me, Marvel. Don't play with my emotions.
Hey, Dub. Was that about as big as when Captain America picked up Mjolnir?
Man.
When I saw Gambit on the back of Wolverine, bro, the goosebumps.
Man.
You talk about I already tell people I'm a 12-year-old with a license. that took me back to my Saturday cartoons, waking up just to sit there with a bowl of damn cereal. Look, I ain't had a bowl of cereal in years, but damn it, March 20th, I'm off that day. How about that?
Which also happens to be Mom's birthday. Go figure.
A day before my anniversary.
Right?
How about that?
I'm just like, Remy, is that how you feel? So we're just gonna put kinetic energy on adamantium metal. Oh, you know what? I hope in that particular scene, I hope they're fighting the Sentinels when Remy did that. Please, animated gods. But you know what though? I like how they had Storm have her hair cut.
Like the movie. Yes.
I'm just like,
ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for us going back to our childhood, but
we're being big kids right now. Don't mind us.
Right now, I've already watched the whole original version of the cartoon X-Men, so I might have to watch the last couple of episodes because it picks up right when Charles Xavier passed away. So they're not. This is not a new story.
No,
this is nothing like it's rebooted. They're literally picking up after the last episode when we were fucking kids. So you better let me have my 12-year-old with a license moment, damn it. And you know what? I damn near might be wearing my Logan, my X-Men shirt on that day, bro. The white cartoon one. You damn right. Hell, we might be even doing the show that night after the show goes off just to talk about it.
Or heck, might be going live during while watching the doggone episode.
Well, you know, we were very upset as kids when it ended that way. We wanted more, and we could not understand the reason why that it did not continue. But kudos to Disney, kudos to to Fox for it all coming together. I mean, once Disney bought everything, this was just set in motion. So it took them about 3 to 4 years to make this happen, but thank the good man above that I'm still here to witness this, and it's not here yet.
If they would have turned that into a movie, oh my god! Hey, I mean,
I don't normally go see movies more than once. If I go to a movie theater, that's it. I don't too many go back and watch the same movie again.
But for that one,
into a movie.
But for that one, that one right there.
Well, you know what? I promise you, I'll probably go see Deadpool twice in the movie theater. This just feels like I have to see it twice in the movie theater. It's my alter ego. It's Wade fucking Wilson, man.
But just the fact that in the beginning of the trailer, he's wearing a wig. He's wearing.
And wait, Dub. Whoa. If you guys about that with pegging, the only problem that has a problem with that is Disney. The fourth wall is going to be broken in this movie so much. The fourth, it's over. Disney, I applaud you for letting Wade Wilson be Wade Wilson, and you guys are having a rated R moniker because this movie is supposed to be it's rated a hard R. And the Mouse House, you're gonna make money for this movie because I promise you, us Marvel fans, we did not like that PG watered down version you did to Wade Wilson. I didn't like it per se.
Oh, the Christmas Deadpool.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Fred Savage did have his moments in that movie, but it was not all what it was.
I'm Marvel Jesus.
The Messiah. He's the Messiah. But wait. But when he was putting on the new outfit, did we really need to see America's ass again? I mean, the ass. I mean, but it's Deadpool though. Are we shocked? Are we shocked by that?
No.
I mean,
no.
Does Disney know what they really got their hands into when they let Wade Wilson get into this world? I love it. He's now part of the MCU. This is Deadpool's debut to the MCU. this movie is going to rectify a lot of things that was done wrong with Fox and everything else. So Deadpool is supposed to right the wrongs that everything. So that's why he is traveling. If you notice through the trailer, you saw a lot of places that were already shot through Marvel movies, like the Avengers. I believe maybe a Hulk movie was in there. You saw the San Francisco Bridge. You saw the scene to where they were flying, that moment to the Avengers were flying and they had that freeze moment. You know, so go ahead, brother.
Hence why Deadpool 3 is the only MCU movie that's going to be in theaters in 2024.
Even though there is another Marvel movie coming out, which came out yesterday, was Madam Web. But Madam Web is not part of the MCU.
It's not MC related.
Deadpool is the only MCU movie, that's what they said. They came out that they were trying to make less stress of making the movies and trying to build another storyline like they did with Iron Man and we got the Avengers. Saga. Yes, so they're doing a better job at not throwing it at us so they can give us like Captain Marvel. They only threw that movie together to fit into the MCU storyline, which it was horrible. So, like I said, Deadpool is rewriting everything and he's reshaping the MCU. And man.
If all
and let me say one thing. And I'm going to say one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fantastic Four cast has been announced. And I'm telling you this, that movie's going to be good because Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. And Pedro Pascal does not touch anything that does not turn gold.
You're not wrong. He's a damn
Pedro,
good actor.
He's the Mandalorian. He has already played in he was a villain in a Marvel movie as well, if I'm not wrong. I believe he played a villain but nonetheless, what I'm getting at, Pedro Pascal does not take on any roles that does not get Oscar-worthy nominations. So I can already sit here and tell you, by him taking on that role, Fantastic Four is going to be a good movie. He's the biggest actor on the cast because I don't too much know any of these other cast members. So there must be there.
Vanessa Kirby, who's been in the Mission Impossible movies.
Okay, that's right. I do know that. Okay, I knew she had a recognizable face. I just couldn't put a movie to it.
Yeah, she was in the Mission Impossible movies. She played.
So kudos to that.
She played Jason Statham's sister in Hobbs and Shaw with The Rock and Jason Statham.
That's right. Knowledge. Thank you, Doug, for being the moviegoer that you are, and know a lot of these actors. But nonetheless, where I'm getting at is that, like I said, Pedro Pascal does not take anything that is not going to be gold. So obviously, if he took on this role, that means the script is tremendous. So don't be shocked if the Fantastic Four movie, which I think they're trying to do in 2026, I believe.
25.
Oh, so we don't have to wait just a year. Okay. I'm with that. And I believe it's dropping with another Marvel movie. So
because they're trying basically
they're trying to fit this into the MCU. They're trying to bring all characters in. Once Disney took over for Fox, they wanted to right the ship and bring movies the right way and do it with MCU. I believe when they did that reboot with I'm thinking of Creed's name. Michael B. Jordan. That movie was just thrown together. That was not a well thought, put together movie. The original time they did the Fantastic Four, it was okay, but I believe that movie was all over the place. So now what they're trying to do, like I said, with Deadpool rewriting the whole universe and reshaping the MCU, everything is going to connect. And then it's going to lead to everything was supposed to lead up to the Kang Dynasty. We were supposed to feature a lot of leading up to another Avengers movie was fighting Kang, but once Jonathan Majors went through his legal issues, they're trying to figure out the way to continue to keep that going. I think they're going to recast Kang, but I think it's going to be the Beyonder, what they're trying to go to here right now, which I'm okay with that storyline too.
Basically, long story short story, all this is building up to Avengers Secret Wars. That's what it's building up to.
And they gave you a preview, a nugget. If you saw the trailer where Deadpool was on his back and he was talking to Wolverine, if you're facing the TV, if you look on the left, there was like a little piece of paper or some form of a book. That was a Secret Wars comic book. So they gave you a nugget that they are building up to that. And here's another nugget for those that are deep into the comic book world.
Or as some
we
would
may
say,
be getting
Easter eggs.
Oh, yes, Easter egg. Or for us, the nerdism. There's rumors going around that they're going to be building up a Midnight Sun movie. So you know what that comes with that, right? That's Moon Knight. That's that's Blade. That's Doctor Strange. And I believe I'm missing a character, but that is your major character. To answer your question, cousin, yes, they will all be recast. The only person that's not going to be recast. Oh, well, no. Captain America is the help me out, brother.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, he's a new Captain America.
They're filming
recast Iron Man.
They're filming Captain America: New World Order now as we speak, which Seth Rollins is going to be in that movie.
I thought they took his character away.
I
read that they removed his character. I believe that. Oh. Yeah, let's look that up so we can be factual. But I believe that his character has been removed.
It was supposed to come out this year, but now it got pushed back to next year
because of the right. But they will. Iron Man will be recast, I believe. Thor will make one more solo movie, but he will also stay on to do features. He will be also part of the Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
Yes, so Chris Hemsworth will continue to play Thor. I don't know. I think Loki might be replaced because
Tom Hiddleston.
Well, Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr. is up there in age, and plus they already killed off his character, so we will be getting a different.
But he can still be an AI if he wants to be. He can be, you know, that artificial intelligence like Jarvis was.
Yes, and Loki, he said he's done with the character because he's pretty much they also killed off Loki, if you want to be technical in his series. So I believe just some of these actors are old and they can't keep up with what it takes to play in a superhero movie. You know, like Hugh Jackman. He didn't like the diet that he had to do to play on Wolverine because he had to put on a lot of pounds and muscle. So that's a lot of protein and a lot of things that you don't want to eat when you're trying to keep your
superhero bod.
Yeah, when you don't want the superhero bod, but to put on a superhero bod, you have to change your diet, and it's a lot. So they're getting up there in age, but just think about it. How many Batmans have we had, bro?
A lot.
How many Wolverines have we had?
One Logan.
So we'll see. I like the direction that Disney is going with how they're reshaping Marvel. This is great. And I'm looking forward to going to see Deadpool. That's, like I said, I was only here for the Super Bowl for the commercial, and they delivered. It does, but it also gives you a good storyline because in the comic books, there's multiple Iron Mans. There's multiple storylines that they can tap into.
Different variants.
And I'm curious to see how they're gonna. Pretty soon, they're gonna have to recast Black Panther. I know they have Shuri, but Shuri was supposed to come a long
down the line.
We weren't supposed to get her right now, especially with the storybook, the storybook where they were going with. But somewhere they're gonna have to put T'Challa back into a storyline. but as of right now, Shuri is going to be leading as the Black Panther. But I love how the end of Wakanda Forever is. They kind of gave you a nugget. T'Challa has a son,
the prince.
So there's a prince. So there's a chance that he could be recast, and his name is T'Challa. So here's that. Sorry for the nerdism, everybody, but this is our show. We do what the hell we want.
That is true. But nonetheless,
well, cousins, some of the movies are not comic book accurate. Some go off of the directors want to put their own little twist on things. But right now, I believe that they're going to really be more comic book accurate. Doctor Strange was the last one was very, very comic book accurate, and how they're going on with that. So it seems like they're going to be going right with the right direction. And if you notice, the moment that Disney took over, you notice that Wolverine's costume now is comic book accurate. I don't know what Fox was doing with his outfit and all they were doing right now. So from now on, if you see an X-Men in a movie, I believe their outfits are going to be comic book accurate. So great things that are coming.
I'll just say it like this, not to change companies, but like one of the closest comic book accurate movies that we've had was recently The Batman with Robert Pattinson. That is as close to being comic book accurate in film
because it took off the year one. It took off the year one, the movie, which Matt Reeves tried to come out and say that it wouldn't be a year two. But when I hear that Gordon says, "I've only known you for 2 years," you're going off the year one, and you're going off that, especially with the details of him monologuing, how he was jotting down everything. If you've seen Batman Year One, the Batman does kind of tap into year one, which is very, very, very comic book accurate. So kudos to Matt Reeves for that. And stay tuned for this year. We will also get Colin Farrell, the Penguin, on HBO Max. That will be dropping sometime this year. So we're going to have a lot of good Matt Reeves, which Matt Reeves has signed on to a lucrative deal with Warner to do his own version. So we're going to get a lot of
Warner
Patterson Batman.
And hopefully Warner Brothers will stay out the damn way.
Well, James Gunn already said that Matt Reeves' world is Matt Reeves' world. So whoever's playing the Batman for the Brave and the Bold movie that are coming out through James Gunn and whoever this guy's, that will be the DCU's Batman. So Robert Pattinson is not the DCU Batman. So we will have two worlds, which I believe you should have just connected Robert Pattinson's Batman and just let Matt Reeves cook. You should let Matt Reeves do the Brave and Bold, which I do not like the director that is doing this one because The Flash wasn't all that good.
No.
And then you put the Batman in his hands,
and then
you put the greatest character next to Superman, and you give him that, which his other movie didn't sell. This is why I don't like James Gunn per se.
The only good thing, well, for DC, yes, but
yes,
the only good thing about The Flash was the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh yes,
that was it. Yeah. That was it. First 10 minutes.
Yeah. 100.
Even though the bat suit was atrocious and horrible.
Well, we're gonna get one more. We're gonna get one more Tom Holland Spider-Man, which will be Spider-Man 4. And I don't know where they're gonna go with after that, but I believe he's also gonna be in Secret Wars.
But I
believe Spider-Man.
Supposedly there might be a third with James Garfield, but there's still some details that need to be etched out. Andrew Garfield, I'm sorry, but there's some details that still need to be etched out. But that possibly might happen. We don't know yet.
Now, do you think with the new Venom movie, do you think we will get Tom Holland Spider-Man in that one? Even though they gave us a little Easter egg with that.
Yeah, they did.
They gave us an Easter egg with that. So we might have Venom going up against Tom Holland Spider-Man. And let me tell you here, ladies and gentlemen, I am on board with that because if you know anything from the cartoons and the comic book, Venomous Spider-Man has some real good action in that one. So if they're building up something with that, even though Tom Holland has now, I believe, got to the age to where he has outplayed Spider-Man, which we love that he started off as the kid that we needed, because maybe he was a little out age, but he looked the part. Tobey Maguire didn't look the part. Andrew Garfield looked somewhat the part, but he was old playing Spider-Man at the time. But Holland looked the part. He looked like a kid, how they portrayed him being in high school, yada, yada, yada. And so this might be his last go around with it, and the mantle might be passed along to someone else. As like Logan, as Hugh Jackman is doing, he's passing on the mantle to whoever's going to take on the claws. And I'm going to just tell you this. Those are big shoes to fill when it comes to Logan. Because Hugh Jackman bodied Wolverine, literally bodied that character. So, big shoes to fill.
Yes, it is. But now, with all that nerdism, it is time for me. It is time for me and Mizzle to take our naps because we do have to work and pay bills and all that good fun stuff. But certainly want to say thank you guys for chiming in. Like I said, we apologize for all the technical stuff that we had to deal with trying to get this show.
Man, yeah, the show would have been a little bit longer.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
topics.
But nonetheless, for those that did chime in, we appreciate you and watching us. Again, special thanks to our 98 subscribers that subscribe to this.
Come on, let's get two more. Tell your friends, tell your family. If they love sports and like listening to two grown-ass men just sit here and talk about what the hell ever and get off subject every once in a while, tell them to subscribe. And also, please, let's get the All Pro Joffos
get their subscriptions up. Yes.
Also, please subscribe to the other side of the ball. Please look into A7FL that's coming up here pretty soon. I mean,
March 24th starts the national season. Can the Insomniacs repeat? Can the Northeast retain their crown, which they were not even appearing in the championship game a season ago? A lot of answers, a lot of questions. It might not be answered on March 24th, but the journey to the championship starts on March 24th. If you're going to watch All-Star Weekend, be careful. Hopefully, you guys be safe out there in Indianapolis, Indiana. Congrats to all the All-Stars making the trip to Indianapolis to play in this All-Star game.
Speaking of that, let's also give a big round of applause for Caitlin Clark for breaking the record today. Let's also give her a round of applause, even though she didn't want to break. I mean, they all don't say they don't play for that, but let's just give her kudos because that young lady can play some damn good basketball. She's going to be a good asset to the WNBA whenever she decides.
She'll be going number one real soon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Without question. To which, by the way, I think she ended up getting a 40 burger in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so she just obliterated the record then.
She put up
points and shit on it.
She put up 49 of those buckets, by the way. Just gonna throw it out there to break the record.
Young lady.
To which, by the way,
she beats Casey Plume's record. So, kudos.
Which by the way, the fourth-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes in that game put up 106 to Michigan's 89. By the way,
so she damn near had half their points.
Yeah. For lack of a better term. But yes, don't forget, please subscribe to the All Pro Joffos, JP, Country Cane, DJ Mattsticks, of course, the Other Side of the Ball podcast. Also, don't forget the 3-on-1 podcast with Matt, Rob, and Corey. And, of course, this upcoming Saturday.
Talking Dish with Dub and Chris.
Yes. And, yes.
We got another one. Hey.
We appreciate it. So,
thank you.
Like, subscribe.
I hope we are entertaining. I hope we are very entertaining to you. Thank you for your subscribe.
This Saturday will be the morning show of Talking Ish with Dub and Chris, although it won't be Chris. Chris will be on assignment, and the Viking Scott McCorkle is supposed to be joining myself and Quan 59 in the studio.
Can we get that man on this show? Can we really get this man on that show? I would love to have a conversation with the Viking man.
Well, I got to go convince him not to go fishing one day, and we can get him on the show. Actually, I kind of mentioned it on
can't hate on the man that want to go fishing. I love fishing too.
Yeah.
Can't hate on the man that loves to throw the
He
pole
does
out there and just reel in some fish.
He does like fishing for sure.
But, I mean, he's a Viking. He loves the water.
You're not wrong. I do say he is from the Rainbow Ridge of Asgard, where the booming heavens roar.
Indeed.
But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially.
Dub, I think we might be over 100 right now.
We are exactly at 100 right now.
Bless you, Gorilla Cross Sports. Thank you. Thank you. The goal was to try to reach 100 by the end of the year, and we are only towards the end of February, and we have reached our goal. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you. And like I say, I hope me and my brother does entertain you guys. Mr. Jamaican himself that works like 4 or 5 jobs doing whatever he does while sweating chicken grease doing it.
While sweating chicken, well, the Bills paying job is sweating chicken grease in a casino, but the fun part is doing the other side of the ball, doing talking ish. Also doing this with my brother of the last 27 years, and also getting to do play-by-play for the ASNFL, which again starts on March the 24th, and might be at a new location. We don't know, but again, looking forward to seeing if the Insomniacs can continue their winning streak, but more importantly, if they can go back-to-back and join the Patterson U as the only other teams to repeat in the 10-year history of the ASNFL. But nonetheless,
also, Gorilla, please subscribe to all those other pages that we said, the All Pro Joffos, Other Side of the Ball. Also, subscribe to the A7FL YouTube page where you can watch tremendous grown men play tackle football.
Quan watches. He definitely watches the A7.
Okay, I didn't know.
We've been trying to get him to come out and watch a game, but eventually that'll come down the road.
Okay.
But
okay. So definitely appreciate the subscription.
What the heck? Oh, piece came off. But nonetheless, it'll be the morning edition of the Talking Ish with. I'll be in my feelings because I'll be like, damn it, my team did it again. They blew a lead, and we'll explain why. But nonetheless, appreciate everybody for watching. We love you all, and but nonetheless, thank you to everybody for chiming in. Well, for some, they might be mourning if they hire Brandon Staley to run the defense, which we'll see what happens. We'll talk.
Baby,
we'll talk more about that on Saturday. But nonetheless, special thanks to all of our subscribers that came in the chat and hung out with us. We appreciate it, as it is almost 1 a.m. here in the on the West Coast. But nonetheless, thank you to everybody for subscribing. For Mizzle, I'm Dub. You have been watching the Mizzle and Dub Show, and as always, it's 5 o'clock. Some damn where. Guys, take care of yourself. Sleep well. Take care of yourself and each other. God bless you guys. And you've been watching the Mizzle and Dub Show.